Developing a healthy team for the women's core leadership at Christ Community Church in St. Charles, Illinois is the team that I will be evaluating and assessing. In summary, Christ Community Church is located in St. Charles, Illinois. It is a multi-campus community church, and the team of women's ministry consists of 8 volunteer women who represent the various community group gatherings, along with one paid leader, Lori Dewey, who is the women's pastor. All of the women's events at the St. Charles location, and we manage the community groups. Our leader, Lori Dewey, is part of the adult ministry team, and she's part of the hierarchy of the church underneath Pastor of Community Groups Adult Ministries, Dan Jacobitz. In an effort to manage the many women and community groups from a wide spectrum of age groups and spiritual maturity, this team was brought together. It is a managerial grouping with occasional collaborative and creative decision-making processes occurring. I base this assessment on our texts from Group Dynamics and Creative Effective Teams, and lastly, the Teams That Thrive book. And our goal with this assessment is to move our teams to be teams that thrive. Since we are an offshoot of the adult ministry team, we fall underneath their guidance. We do not have autonomy or ability to cast too much vision. We are not that independent of this directives from this leadership team. My suggestions for making us a team that thrives and is to use the guidelines and suggestions from Ruth Haley Barton in her book, Pursuing God's Will Together. My suggestions for developing a healthy team would be for us to, first of all, assess and learn and acknowledge the gifts and abilities and passions of the various team members. We would need to understand what each member of the team has to offer the team, what their passions are. Secondly, using Ruth Haley Barton's discernment of God's will, we would go through a process of listening to each other, listening to the Holy Spirit, listening to God, and seeking to provide space and receptivity to creative ideas of what the Spirit is doing in our life. After doing this process together, we would identify a vision for our group, and we would clarify goals and tasks that we would like to accomplish. By doing this together, the group would own the vision and the goals. There would be more ownership embraced by all of the members of the body. The fourth step would be to involve creativity and diversity with the leadership of the group. Diversity and creativity is a weakness in our group, but we come from diverse backgrounds and experiences. We have single women, we have married women, we have women who are retired, we have women with children, we have women without children. So we are very diverse in that regards, and that's a strong point of ours because we have that perspective to give to our group and our decisions. But I see a need for us to diversify and look around our community. The situation in St. Charles is that we are a predominantly Caucasian community. But close by in Elgin, there is a large Hispanic community that we could seek to see about providing ministry in that community. In order to do this, the women's ministry would need to get permission and support from the hierarchy of this church leadership. We could launch community groups geared towards the Hispanic community, and we could look to offer events and things geared to those speaking primary language being Spanish. With the priority of seeking the guidance of the Holy Spirit, the team could be united and cooperative and collaborative in the mission of Christ. All of this would bring about an ownership in the vision and an enthusiasm and an excitement. The women's ministry of Christ Community would be united in a strategic vision based upon goals articulated by the whole team and the discernment of God's will for them together. This is exciting to see how we can surrender our own personal agendas and pride and seek to be a team that serves.